Good morning, or whatever it is, wherever you are. That's gonna need to reconnect now that we're somewhat more up. I still need to do a whole lot of movement of stuff. And 28p, how's it going? Some of those need to get turned off. You will need to get converted into client version. We can actually edit it. Oh, I actually had it in client from last time. Master client, cool. I think, we'll need to reload. We'll need to make sure that some of the other mods are off. Menu is still on. Puppet Master client. Oh, not server. In order to test things, I think I'm going to want a. I may have actually been messing around with a test setup before. Yeah, I hacked something up here. I think this was actually originally bots. And then for testing purposes, well, I want a bunch of stuff. Oh, I'd actually hacked up landmines too. We have source control for. I do that. Okay, and then I copied a little bit too much. So I think we need to do like that to get our standard stuff. I might want to switch that Puppet Master into always on too. I have to keep reloading here. Yep. All right, so we've got X, and if we were to go Alt Pay, well, and select some. No. Yeah, that shouldn't have been. Pretty sure that's not 20 Vanguard. 20 landmine. And it's not multiple orbital probes either. We actually just plain lost a bunch. I might need to be looking at you. Shift. Shift Q, paste burst. That looks like it's capturing data. Hmm. Load action, sandbox unit Q. Well, a question, like other question is where am I doing the delay for the effect here? Because I might have to actually do some pretty serious refactoring to have it so it captures stuff at the time. And then still delays the execution. Are you also live game? Where's the keybind? You don't have your own keybind. Where do oh no, you've got at least one keybind. Okay. Toggle Puppet Master. Title set. But probably it's hooking to that key. uh, uh, hmm. That's any panel that's not me. Let's get a unit select. This isn't toggling it. Probably a live game. Okay, so that's calling disable cheats. Does that do any state stuff? That's toggle enable. So I guess we just switch that to enable. That should get all of our state correct, hopefully. Now, what are you hooking? Action sets. Toggle puppet master. Bulk paste units. Compatibility. But if it's Oh, if it's the stub, we replace it with this. If it's not, then we don't. Oh, paste burst is just the size. Oh, so your only argument is a number. Hmm. So paste units. X. That is that me? Yeah. So this is we have the puppet master thing. Yeah. Okay. So you get this command. I need to look at timing. That's when you come in. Uh, that spec ID, load action, paste events, paste shift. So when this gets called, then you paste shift. This must be loading the next action in, and that does happen right after this. Right, you have to do a raycast. Got a selected unit. That's an asynchronous function. There's the ping timeout, there's the paste timeout. Get a point. Army ID what? You're still asynchronous. So there's the point at which this gets called. Puppet Master trigger paste unit D. Are you this your function? Yes. So then this has also a timeout thing. And that does a send message. Block that anywhere else? So that's global, which blocks it for everything but that scene. And then in live game, don't allow. Ah. Oh, I probably. That's okay. That's the puppet version. Then Puppet Master can actually execute this. This still ends up being a bit of a engine call apply. So. And that I think will be executed more or less synchronously. So all right. So this looks like it's mostly happening in live game. Is the menu stuff happening? Pick somebody. Alt V. Even just looking at one of these. Uh, uh there's the delay. Uh, do anything? So why is game paused? Yeah, I'm not getting my effect either. Oh, because the effects are probably from the server mod. Stored in the server mod. So I'd have to actually upload that to the server to be. Hmm. Or there's something else I have to do when it's a client for that. But I'm not even getting console logs here. There's Puppet Master Global, but not Puppet Master Live Game. Oh, that's the pause pop-up. But live game everything. I need just live game. Okay. Menu paste shift, Puppet Master paper, paste units, trigger paste units 3D. Does something else is doing the paste units 3D? Maybe it's bulk paste? Okay, so that's a local function. Ah, yes. So that was possibly doing something else. But this since this is the thing that gets timed. So I'm also going to have to get in a hacked up version of probably bulk paste. Create units. Bulk create. Uh, oh, you do some asynchronous stuff. So I might actually want to be looking at. So Master should be doing the engine call. We're going to be Puppet Master. Reload. We have to do bulk create table local. Does that affect anything else? Because they're treated as like the got one of those, and we still got one of those. Ooh. Okay, so there's a lot of other engine calls going on. I might have to limit that down to just the ones we care about. In fact, I think I created an error somewhere, so I really do have to limit that down just so I can. I think this is kind of normal when reloading. . 'Cause 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 ' So maybe this is actually the sandbox that has some issues? Or maybe enabling it right away doesn't work. Shoot. Okay, enabling it right. Why doesn't it work? For whatever reason. This stuff just isn't ready yet. That's spec ID. All right, so for one of these, set a player. Wait. Not the previous? Oh, that may have been the delay from the previous. Oh, bulk create is happening twice? Oh. Is the drop pod a unit which dies and triggers an effect? Paste unit 3D. Okay, so that is... I don't think we're really having any problems with that, specifically. I might actually want to take that out for now. Master paste unit. Oh, so you're actually... Yeah, just to cut down my confusion here. Oh, was I actually triggering off of that somehow? Oh, what the player? Okay. I could kind of use times on these. Or I need to... There is... Clear. All that happens. The ping and bulk units paste. So this is somewhat asynchronous. So this is all up front. Well, that's when this is called, anyway. So we shift the queue, we call this, but it's only paste burst. Well, as long as this thing captures things at the time it's called. The Puppet Master... Oh, set spec ID. Oh, right, because there's an engine call there to do anything. There's a... Oh, I'm probably still doing set spec ID for drop pod. That call. Hmm. Or maybe you're redoing it based on selected unit. There's pod. I'm kind of capturing this here. And yet we know there are asynchronous problems. Oh. Because this is an asynchronous thing. Puppet Master trigger. It's a little bit asynchronous. Army ID, drop pod. Army index, Army ID. Okay, see, Army ID gets captured here. The spec doesn't. And one of the things that worries me here is that we do paste shift. And if this has to call that spec ID again somewhere. Okay, so you don't. That spec ID. Definitely getting called twice. Okay, so you've got your own hook. It's controlling the preview. I guess that's going off. This is just doing some side effects. And I think that the previews are working okay. So this is global and the Puppet Master that we're seeing, and it is getting called twice. You're just hooks. Engine call. So load action is doing it, and sandbox copy. For each menu items. Okay, so when that gets called, we do it here. That's copy menu. And then this, right, because that will set the first item, and when we advance, it sets the next item. So this is one of the things we want to... Wait, so clicking on it? Okay, so that sets one. Wait, but I'm still seeing it called twice when I paste. Clicking this too fast. Well, let's try what we think might be going. Yeah, so this is unfortunately kind of a global variable, but that's just the way this, well, maybe I could augment my paste function. I think I was kind of taking over the base system paste in some cases, which is textual. What we want to do, so selected unit is already kind of a thing. Spec name. Oh, name is used for the announcement. There's increment. Paste unit. Might have to watch some state here too. I've occasionally had trouble with some of those announcements. Selected unit. You only use the spec, but we go through an async operation. Hmm. It doesn't like the function syntax here. We got 21 line ifs. Now the other thing to do here is I could predefine these. These are not in any way dependent on, and it was sort of nice to have this together. But I think I might need to capture the information here. Because that will capture that synchronously, and then we have this async operation. And then there's increment, which doesn't contain any of that information. Nor the player information, really. So that might be something else to look at. There's one. Didn't select the player. Always do that. All right, so that was actually booms. Start over. Right, some of those were Legion units, and I didn't load up Legion, even though it was a Legion menu. I could probably take that out of my little working menu. Although, do they have their own? Oh yeah, they got the. Oh, that might fix the unit selection. That's making me worry about the announcements, though. All right, numbers look good. Because even this increment. Well, this is just my internal method. I can pass as much context as I want to this. All right, so paste unit was the last thing we pasted. So this, I think, is just for tracking whether we increment the count or reset the count. Now it's gift, paste unit name. Yeah. So what does increment do? Reset count ends up calling that. Okay. But we're army index again. Well, that we probably don't expect to change very fast, but this is one of the places where I've had some trouble in the past. Where you get the occasional unknown. Army index, that's army ID. What does reset count wants an index? Player for index returns a name. So we would want to just capture that index up front. Because we do pass army ID down to things. Increment. Okay, so it's really only called there. So that captures the army ID, but we need the army index. Oh, well, this is stuff we have to pass to there. And do you use .spec announce gift what? Paste unit .name. So paste unit is like spec. Well, it's the selected unit. Get wholesale replaced? Equals last hover. That's a wholesale replace. That's a wholesale replace. So we're probably safe to capture that as a value when we need to. Increment. Or just end planet. Now. The point of this was we capture the unit, well, really the unit and the army for this. Turns into a nasty function signature. So you used army ID. That wants army index. We don't know the planet until we do a raycast. Uh, is calling paste units 3D, which is more fully specified. Well, it's a set timeout, but it's number, contents, and location. You might still have problems with army, but that's an engine limitation. Well, I could have this timeout thing set the army. No, contents is army. So for increment, so this is relying on this. I guess if we collected this into a thing, we could also include the army index in there because you gave a bunch of different people things you'd want it to show up differently. But that wouldn't maintain object identity. In fact, that this doesn't maintain object identity. For some reason, it changed. Oh, the selection didn't change. Hmm. An RB index is already a function. We want the army index and naming is hard. So really, uh, well, the announcement would be like gives name n blah on blah. And I call it paste selected unit? Past selected unit. Now we're back to the same thing because those are global names. Well, function scope names. Yes. Paste planet, paste count. Army index again. All right. Select the player. That much seems to work. What if we just did docs and 30 docs? Changing players fast. Tricky. I've tried to, well, capturing the army index earlier in that process might help that. Am I still set up for... No, I'm not. That be units? Well, what is it then? Oh, also it's just one, just one. So if we do... Well, I don't know if that was super fast, but... They're in guard range, but not firing range. All right, so we've accomplished our basic purpose here, which was go here and then go boop 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 boop. One unknown. Well, I may have missed something on the unknown. Stuff out. Oh, and maybe we shouldn't do... I forgot what my Oop. Okay. Yeah, okay. My unit delete key was. Oh, somebody got in range, I guess. They get like a one little shot off every now and then. All right, do I have any other notes for stuff? Oh, I have a work directory. Nope, that's just icons. I don't even have a readme. I think I had some notes for the other stuff. I guess I should just clean this up. Okay. I actually forgot to check on how this was current. New tag. Uh, okay, so that was for doing a build. The client. Which I don't even run the grunt file here. I could maybe leave that in as a thing. We've got some console logs to clean up. All over the place. Uh, you had... Well, I'm not looking at you right. Okay, if we're going to commit... Well, problem is... I'll have to wait. Uh... What the heck is... Uh... I don't need build change. I still need to... I should probably smoke test things a little bit. Edit a line in case that ID has to change back. Those were deliberate changes. And I put that there, which didn't even work. Oh, select the player. Special effects need the server mod, I think. Or maybe that's what the grunt file is for. I don't actually have that in the base mod. Mod info are a server mod. Although, I am going to have to do an alt ID to make sure I can edit things on the fly if I need. Oh, that's not the format we usually use here. Is that the format mods usually? All right, so that attempt to capture all relevant data before asynchronous events happen, which could include changing units. Originally, the issue was doing multiple. Well, this is still an improvement. All right, so now we go back to and see if we can make this behave nicely for pauses. I want some debugging then, but we'll see. All right, so it is running. If we just do oh, I might want to see the actual effects here. Looks like that raycast might have been off. Or maybe I scrolled in a weird way. Actually, and some of the stuff just didn't happen. Oh, dang. Okay, so you're very delayed. What do I do with pauses? Do anything with pauses? Probably doesn't show up as the word pause. Or maybe it's still 5 seconds and the actual things get kind of commands get queued up by the engine. Okay, so my timer expired there. And then all of that stuff gets deferred on execution. So the 5 second delay between drop pod and endurance. Which is a little bit of a I mean, if we ever have to pause the game, I might be able to do some up, but it's not pretty much a cosmetic issue. So the question is, was there... Actually, yeah, your icon's a little easier. Was there any actual unit drift? Of course, he was going pretty fast. And to cause trouble, I think it would have to have been within at least the 5-second window. And maybe he was doing haste. No, that's with time running. Oh, nope, that was the that was the Q paste. It was pause, paste, run a little bit. Run a little bit. I must hit the wrong key again. Run a little bit. Run a little bit. Run a little bit. I was thinking I might have done something for pause, but this wasn't one of the other mods. But this is the thing that's doing the timeout. There's a tick. Oh, I am tracking sim speed. Oh, I'm tracking sim speed. Oh, shoot. So if the effective sim speed is super low, because we're pausing, that's why it gets all delayed out. It's probably similar code to what I'm doing. No, this actually became in-engine. Hmm. Yeah, so that start stop might get a little bit. Actually, is this a thing that's available to us from the engine? Because it's obviously available to this UI. So which panel is that? Well, control group bar. Is that not the control group bar? I don't think. Options bar? Maybe? Uh, let's see. Entertainment. Media, let's at least get into the UI. Game option bar. sim performance, show server rate percentage string. Sim speed multiplier changed time. Server rate. Handlers.time. Payload.server rate. Handlers.time. Yet that does seem to be very much tied into how I'm tracking that. So there's previous sim time, which is only used in here. There's previous UI time, just T. The UI step. There's UI step and sim step. Sim step. Sim samples is average of sim samples, average of UI samples. So payload.server rate. This might get a little bit spammy. One 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 one. Is that affected by pausing? No. Okay. So what do I want of this? I want a sim speed that I can use to adjust my timeouts. Sim rate is 1, so that's actually right in the same. And tick is doing summarize. So I think I can just replace all of this with sim speed equals payload. No, payload dot server rate. Oh, okay, I think it can stop during. I don't think I need any of. Do I need now for anything? No. I don't think I need sum. I don't think I need average. Don't need summarize. Don't need tick. And the only problem here is that I can't necessarily easily get the sims. No, actually, maybe there is some options. Maybe like dev mode. No. I know I could do it if I started up my own server. The ways to adjust the sim. Or we can just try to get it to slow down. I didn't save. That's kind of helpful. All right. Oh, it was play. Uh, did it not like? Did it not like that? Or did I mess up my sim speed? Okay, I messed up my sim speed somehow. Maybe it's not what maybe it's not what I think it is. One 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 one. Oh, select the player. Always do that. Okay. Not affected yet. What if we had them fight? Well, that won't last, but oh, that dropped a little bit. That's like 50%. 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. Oh, enough of them killed each other. Oh, that might actually be too close to the commander. Okay, so combat helps, but it's also not a stable situation. Actually, probably just having them move might do a little bit. 80%. Well, had to path a little bit there, and then not sure that's enough to see the time difference. 51%. Okay, so now we'll just go back down to just, well, I can do single paste. So 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,004, 1,005, 1,006, 1,007, 1,008, 1,009, 1,010, 1,000. Actually, a little bit more worse than 50% now. Okay, that seems about right. We got the wreckage to deal with. Probably on this one. Okay. Don't need that. No, there's still some fighting happening. So that was a nice little simplification. And that really shouldn't affect the mod info at all. It does change our required version though. Okay, so reload that here at the spam. G build? 73953. Server. Wait, actually. Oh, Live Game has it as well. I was looking at options bar. Payload.server rate. Yep. I don't even do that. This to test it. Sim speed can be model.server rate. I think all we really have to do, make sure nothing's crashing. Slot the player. Oh. Oh, we've got something with range. Somewhere. Off docks. Is that it? No, that's main game. This is it. Use base game. All right, what else do we need? I have notes here. In-game mod. That might help with that. Actually, you know what? Even without Legion, I wasn't seeing my base list at all here. So maybe that was a style change? Anyway, let's remove some of our debug stuff. Let's menu. That's you. We'll create units. Bigger bootstrap. That should be that. Select this, which have a big long list. And this, I'm pretty sure is attached to Sandbox. No, that's that thing. Sandbox units. Okay. Main unit cont. Yeah, I'm just in my extra section here. Oh no, okay, so we've got menu work. I think we're done with you. Sandbox unit menu. Do you have like... Okay, so we've got the menu and we've got the queue. Div sandbox doc. Gets used in here as QHTML. I guess we're not doing async. Uh, oh, maybe bottom spacer disappeared. Live game, sandbox, HTML. Yep, bottom spacer disappeared. So how can we place this? Now I want to know what that used to be. If sandbox main. Okay, so it's like a div sandbox main. All right, I put it outside of the sandbox doc border. Just still inside the body. I forget how append worked that are outside. Uh, div sandbox doc. Oh, your div first. Yeah, so the thing is we kind of modify this here. Oh, no, you're doing append, so you're going inside. API documentation. DOM insertion outside? After. Okay, this is no longer going to be the sandbox doc first. I might actually want to invert these then. They can both use that. Now this is a case we can do a lesser reload. Although, I don't know why this thing is... Menu's messed up. Oh, it still gets styled, though. Did he? I don't think it had a border. Maybe it still had a... something. Now, when we go through... Now you see that counting down. Now, I thought that I used to, like, do something with the currently selected unit. Have that, like, a different color, maybe? Maybe just the list. Because in most scenarios, you're only going to have one thing. That's kind of fun. Right, this isn't published. I don't have as much trouble with... Oh, lost connection. Okay. Unit ID. Oh, I wasn't doing any version numbering, but I don't know that we're really at release point yet. Although it does have a changelog. There really other things should be updated. So this is a bug fix essentially. Uh, I do not. I'm not going to have a thing for you yet. I want to do everything just yet. Git add changelog mod info. Git menu live game. And I should probably go back. And where's my other one? There's you. Where's my window for it? That's fine. What have we done? We have changed our sim speed, and we have made significant improvements to timing. To a user, those are only bug fixes. Yes, that was the last thing we actually did. Uh, There's no real changes in how you use it, other than I'm incapable of. Uh, although I'm not actually sure. Well, I'm not sure exactly what he was doing, but that should be capturing it when generally when the command is issued. I guess this would be. Hmm. Any other? There's a chat window. Oh, so menu items with multiples. Oh, so that's actually just a. That's actually a small thing we might want to change. Menu design though. Current player unit quantities. Ghost. Oh, right. Because right now, this is 8 times, but it hasn't set this. So this preview doesn't follow that. But I may have not done that before because it was hard. What are you? Core PA. Uh, did I close that? May have closed that because we weren't necessarily modifying it. All right, so you've been marked as dev. Hmm. There's already some async communication going. Preview. Bulk paste count. Sandbox copy unit. Bulk create unit. Okay, preview toggle. It's preview. Preview unit locations, units. Clear previous. Live game bootstrap. Let's just be hooked up to something. Toggle, next formation. If show preview is an observable. Changes. Ghost. If show preview. Oh, paste unit count. Oh, that's the count. What actually synchronizes this? Or is this module doing all that sync? Looking into that. Don't create units. It actually requires live game and does some orchestration. Both paste count. You're keeping the count. The count has to come from sandbox somewhere. Model.bulk paste count. Scribe, panel message, bulk paste count. So that is only sending it from the sandbox. We would also want to receive that, display it properly. Uh, hmm. But you're probably operating in the same panel. Puppet mask. Menu. If I can type. Okay, so you're not doing any direct integration right now. Panel message. Sandbox menu item. Maybe live game handles most of it. You might only be an item. Item.build. Sandbox unit Q. Well, you're displaying the Q. Got it. Spec ID. So on click, we get the first. Oh, that. Yeah, on click, we do that. We've got code here. And actually, something would have to tell us to drop an item off the queue if we execute. Right, handlers. Oh, you're an observable, so you just receive a message with the updated stuff. Which means that is going to have to do more than just update the list. I finally hit. Well, Q is observable. Subscribe. Q is the item build. And this is only in sandbox right now. Sandbox control, sandbox unit. Yeah. I don't know. Doesn't like reloading just that panel for some. Oh. Pff. And something that it's changed in the base game to make it so you can't keep your debugger in here when doing that. That actually happens twice. Wouldn't be too big a deal. And it should happen again. One fewer item. Got number unit. As long as it recognizes this is a... So the problem is that this mod by itself was written to not combine multiple. So I've actually got this a little bit modified right now. Well, that was if you were only using the menu mod and not bulk paste. I guess I could just assume that. I could even specify as a dependency. Although dependencies become a problem with have to be multi-modified versions. Then you have to do a transitive update of everything to get the IDs to match. Well, if I can do this without modifying bulk paste, then that'll be good. Okay, so we've got the queue. if q dot check length could check 0. But really, if this exists, we're probably okay. If q and model dot bulk paste count. I don't know if I could necessarily detect the existence of another mod. At the time this code is evaluated. Because of a possible load order. Oh, so that actually disappears if that's why this panel keeps resetting. Sandbox control. Sandbox units. No error. That was an error. Undefined is not a function. Bulk past count. One thing we I'm not sure what it is that's getting out of sync here. That's 8. That's 8. Now the army color thing would actually be a mod update. But it might be a useful general update. It would just be current army color. Okay, that should relatively safe. Now, problem. That's just menu item. That doesn't account for multiples if somebody will be pre-combined at the they don't want to do. Are you in sandbox? I don't think you're in sandbox. What is the message? I think that would be by code. Level unit queue. Handlers. Sandbox menu item. Oh, no, it is actually looking at the build and sending the queue. That's only the item. Sandbox menu item. Current order subscribe. That is parent. The feed view. Live game. Oh, it's sending a message, which would be by you, which gets the item and... Oh, are you actually... Oh. Are you actually able to send modified queues? Now, I've already changed some of the menu stuff for testing. Your bulk create. Your donation panel. Your menu. I don't know, well, see what our test data has. Because it was already doing numbers. I don't know if it was doing... Were you doing something with previews? I wasn't actually running the... Direct. Oh. Why? You appear to have broken something. Wait. Oh, Puppet Master didn't get moved back. This is the first time I reloaded. I hit caps lock. Coordination panel. Won't create unit. Good thing. This might not have even been able to load. Okay.
Choose start point.
All right, what do we got? That would be a different quantity. A D1, D1, D1. Uh, oh, right, because it couldn't select the player. You're a D1, D1, D. Oh, because you're a single, so yeah, so not a lot of as many things could combine here. So we look for, let's see, A1 was a thing that was multiple. What were my keys? Okay, fine. One of these is that mod. But I'm up here. Oh, did I? Oh, read me? There we go. No refresh. It should clear out all of the unexecutable ones. And it's vehicle factory. Or kernel. Yeah, all these are single. There's a multiple, but that didn't detect codes. For whatever reason. Oh, actually, I hacked out the legions. That's right. Probably. Phoenix should have been in there, though. Actually, I only hacked it out of the master. Supposed to be D4. Oh. Maybe I accidentally deleted that. Well, oh no, actually, though, this is the previous year's thing entirely. That's why it's messed up. Was Phoenix one of our items? Like advanced air fighter? Yeah, it's D3. That's got one down somewhere. Oh, yeah, that does go 40 times. Yep. And then we messed it up because that's one of our UI problems. Nope, yep, that cleared it. There's another one. We're not getting a preview. That could be because the players are messed up. It's like, that is the right number. This stuff does the right thing. Although, not the right spec. Oh, right, because now I'm... No? Oh. This isn't setting the spec ID properly. It's probably just for the preview? That was menu execute. That was regular paste. That's a single. Bulk paste. Okay, so this is the problem with the preview getting the right unit. And probably that has something to do with it not getting the spec ID too. So when does bulk paste turn that on? Bulk crash units. It's gonna be in live game? Well, preview units, which gets called from Bootstrap. If show preview is an observable, if bulk paste count changes, show the preview. So what is your default key? Next formation. Manually toggle control. That turns it on. Anything here? That's that. Which is the queue. But it doesn't update the flag. This does it. Oh, no. That does it. Oh, you know what? Most of these are one. That only updates it if the count actually changes. Okay. Well, bulk paste still has to follow the ID, right? It changes in sandbox? We get captured in live. Live game bootstrap. Debug.set spec ID. Change the selected unit. Oh, right. We can't send it that way because it's so big. Well, maybe. Yeah, that's. Well, maybe because I'm already here. Problem. Oh, well, now we're not changing at all. Typo something? Are we perhaps intercepting this call? Or do you only set on execute? Uh, your live game bootstraps, your live game. Yeah, so you're getting an engine call. At least that's a more honest layering of it. You're not getting set spec ID. So I might not be calling through on one of my other setups. What the player? All right. Puppet Master. Uh. Hmm. That's probably what's happening. And then you. Oh no, this all passes through. No, this one didn't return. But it is an else. Well, no, you're an if. Panel message. Else original call. About menu. That's load action. Now that's engine call. Which panel are you in? You look like you're in live game. Okay, and you did the thing of always calling first, but Puppet Master does need to block sometime. You engine call, you engine call, you do not intercept. You're there. So this would be the most likely one to be messing things up. That should be not live game. Or we should be in Puppet Master mode. Do we have an error? I mean, is that just encountered a fatal error? Actually, probably don't need, not necessarily need donation panel for this, but that doesn't work. I might. I think donation panel hooks it. Well, it was one of the things I was originally checking, but it seemed like we were having some problems. Oh, that orphaned a server. So we have to go kill that. Which might be easier if there's no any other processes running. Planetary Annihilation server. And that's that first time issue. I think. Here we go.
Choose landing site.
Okay. Oh. That almost looks like you didn't get anything after Puppet Master. I wonder if they both captured an early state of engine call. Yeah, okay. I may have explicitly done that for permissions issues. You're only doing for this one. Capture there. Uh, Menu. Puppet Master. Notes. Won't create units. That is live game, so it shouldn't be this case. It has to be you. So, and oh, I think I know what's happening. You're capturing it once up front. That's before bulk create units. No, I don't think I even I set a priority on this to try and get in early or anything. Hmm. I know. Engine. Enable cheat. Disable cheat. You are doing your thing in a require.js callback, which actually puts it off a little bit. Hmm. Could perhaps set up an explicit integration. It'd probably require modifying bulk create unit, which mostly works okay in published. So I'm thinking about adding the possible unit color. That's going to be spec ID. It only shows the number if it has a spec ID. Wait. No, because I'm then enabling, which reinstalls engine call. Hmm. Might have been doing that on purpose to messing with it, but I'll disable cheats. Then I come along and manually activate the mode. somebody else had stacked them. I wouldn't be able to detect that that it was one of mine. Yeah, so this is the issue with this ball replacement stuff. Now, this is Puppet Master kind of wants to prevent any monkeying around here, but I don't want to tell bulk paste about stuff. I could do that explicitly, counting on that timing to change. Bulk paste count. Oh, already got a handle. API.panel.message. But that's from the sandbox, so you're already in live game. That changed. You? What are we sending? Sandbox unit hover. Well, VCU selected unit. Is that just a AO? Bootstrap. Actually, you're not. Yeah, because this is also from the message. This is a straight up spec. Unfortunately, this actually depends a little bit on load order. I guess I could tweak. Well, load order might actually be different in server mode. Oddly enough, it's just a real pain to test. Okay. That was puppet stuff. Oh, I put out the message. Okay. So I need that one. Master. Selected unit. I don't know if I've got a good thing for you. Spec ID. I don't really use debug copy for this purpose, so that's fine. Paste I might be able to manage. Do you actually publish these things where I can get them? One of the things this does is encapsulate this a little. No, that's model. CU select unit. Bulk create unit selected ends up doing select unit. Spec equals arguments. If this engine ordering thing is actually, I'm not entirely sure how to do that. Unless I somehow like just defer installing my handler until everything else is set up. Even then the disable is going to happen, and that's going to need to save something. And then bulk create unit captured. Maybe I shouldn't be swapping engine call completely there. And then I have, yes. Or put that message back. All right, so now, oh, that's a preview, all right. You should be, hmm. Because I've got the holodeck on, I'm getting all this stuff. So I kind of need to turn down the spam. Oh yeah, you're going, you're going, you're going. We turn on Puppet Master and you stop. Oh. So this is, oh, select unit. Oh, maybe you don't work unless, no. Weird thing is this was working? Oh, maybe you just got a weird unit. That's not setting ID though. Even though we see engine unit debug select ID, that spec ID, not making its way over there. Are we able to make that call? Oh, We got a different load order this time? Oh. Maybe you're not active because of that? No, it's a ship. No, that's Puppet Master. That's select unit, not engine. Oh, hey. Is it falling or is it not? Well, it's in the ground, but it's not continuously falling. uh, bad examples. Okay, that works. Undefined. So I thought this was live game. Oh, it's handlers. So we're in the same panel, so I can just reference handlers. I could I could publish just like a second engine thing for just all of its calls. Okay, so that is now looking correct from there. So that might be a little bit more of a feature change. All right, are we doing anything from you? Yes, we are doing something. I could close that one. All right, so now this becomes a little bit more of a feature update. You want to accept one file. I'm not doing any logging here. All right, and Puppet Master console log. This is now a feature change, though, or a feature update. Uh, did your handler have any other things? Oh, well, you shouldn't be changing things anyway if you're in unit debug copy. Unit debug paste. Bulk paste doesn't actually need to know that that happened, except I don't think that turns off the ghost anyway. However, it does call the original engine call here, which would be before bulk paste got in, unless it's a different order in server mod. I forget if it's earlier or later. Which, although this actually has the load order. So if I set it up as a server mod, I should be able to see what the load order is. But you've got a slightly async process. Like it there. Uh, and bulk paste hasn't had any changes. We do want to shut down the spam. Unit changes to bulk. Bulk create. Gotta type of the other one. And the change we might want to make in bulk create units would be to use army color for the ghosts. Be kind of a general change. Bulk create units. Uh, I don't think anything else tracks changes in the army ID. That should be normally trackable in case. No, you are computed. So I could subscribe to that. Uh, preview units. Actually, preview units. Raycast. Preview unit locations is in another module. The princess is in another castle. Oh, I do some loco K coloring here. Warning. General Ghost. View locations. Okay, so view is like a system object, I think. Mouse to hdeck.view. Locations. Haste unit location. That takes an army. Wait, big data. That's just options. So I could get that when we do preview units, center, raycast center. Let me guess. Information sets everything out. What is a locations? Information. And spec ID. Formations dot. View center. Can I just get in here and look? Okay, so we've got an OK, a desk, a pause, an orient. This probably involves some. All right, where fix up is a. Hmm. There's an API call to do fix up stuff somewhere. Can I attach army ID to individual location? That's location. Bigger location. That's color. Ghost color, ghost color. Location lock. Preview unit locations. Back to formation. Fix up. Okay, lock.ok, lock.desk, lock.planet. So you get a view, a spec ID, a planet, and a list of locations. Lock is locations for each. Looks like there's room to already have data in here. Although you're like adding spec and stuff. Where would we want to add this? We go to preview units, we raycast. That in of itself has some async stuff. Information sets everything up. Preview unit locations. I guess preview unit locations is the thing that's determining color. So, like, sandbox. Oh, this is, that's a mod I might be building on. base game there? Oh. But does the HTML have two different things then? Mm. Oh, it was like dev mode or yeah. They just changed the title. Okay, so maybe the base one doesn't show color. I don't even have that mod here. Alright, live game, dev mode. HTML color from color. Group player control colors. You must come from live game. Player controls colors. Player control flags subscribe. Right, because you have to update everything to their color. Oh, why didn't I see that? Uh, ah, thanks, but no thanks. Dev mode. How about dev mode HTML? Or matrix. Div primary color data.color. ko.forEachPlayers. Self.players, self.state.players. ko observable. Panel.invoke dev mode state, then state. Puts us down to live game. Players, sendable players. Self.players. Self.player is it should match our current army ID. Well, nope. Not all the army. You have an army? -1. Well, yeah, because let's look at player control flags and figure that out. We've got a color. Yep, there's secondary color. I think we don't really use primary color. So we've got ways to get the index. Improved player control. I was just looking some stuff up. Uh, your live game. Color. Flags.index of true. Player control flags. Subscribe. Is controlling army. Flags. Index. Player equals model.players index if player. Uh, global copy that. Too many windows. if we reload, need to work. Uh, menu, menu. Preview unit locations. You're in live game. Uh, Preview is going to be a relatively live process. The delays shouldn't matter much. We do still capture some information up. So that's model.player control flags. Did I already have army index? Oh, well. Okay, we've already got that. Uh, don't need that. We just need. I didn't already have this. No, I don't think I did a player lookup. Well, looked up their ID. Okay, well, we're already going to have a color. Else if that, else. But is that color in the right format? Oh well, we can find that here. Oh no, ML string. Oh, oh, is primary color a separate thing? Yes, but I need to add the 0 to it. So this is not going to be the easy thing. I guess that's an else if player color. It's a something. I don't know if there's an easier. I mean, I guess a concat would create a new array. Okay, that is definitely, well, one of them white, but that's definitely uh I was definitely loading the modified code. We've got that, and we've got that. Because we were doing the console prints earlier. Should be loading our code. Undefined. Okay. Um, we've got the spam problem. Oh, did I? I probably passed color, which is eight. It's gonna go over too well. Player color. Yeah. Preview. Get rid of the spam. Well, that's certainly interesting. I mean, it's a player color, but it's not. Oh, you're 256. So that's interesting. You can create a glow effect by supercharging the colors. So we also, you know what? At this point, it's just we just do this. Got two. Oh, well, that's a new one. I guess I don't reload with that. Oh, unexpected token. Because that probably does clear ghosts somewhere. Yes. All right, one player is white, of course. Now, I had originally chosen a sort of faded color. No, I can't. I can't. Uh, yeah, I had a key for select nobody. Let's Yeah. So you could kind of make out some of the details. You could potentially have some bright players, but I mean, as long as it's somewhat distinct, probably get enough out of this. If we have something like this, well, I don't have any buildings here yet. Have conflicts. Yeah, so we'll still get warning, and as long as you don't have a player color who exactly matches. Now it still assumes I'm paying attention to stuff. Oh, also, doesn't look like the same. Doesn't like look like the same color. This might be the gamma correction type thing. I was originally picking a darker color. Hmm. Improved player control does use this, but that is in. Yeah, that's just primary color. That might be in like icon shaders. So the HTML stuff is taking care of it, I guess. Oh gosh, where's the icon shader? That UI? That's mods. That might be media. Shaders. Okay, what it's called. Do I have... I wouldn't have necessarily needed to have... Uh, the icon mod on this computer. No, not on this repository. Not all of GitHub either. Two color icons. Well, that gives me the shaders. Actually, that I might have here. Not the brighter one that does gamma adjustment. WebKit PNG handling. Right, because these are still sort of technically, in a sense, they're grabbing images from the browser. I just had a Win-Win graphics card, my laptop. And then if we do... I'm not just looking on that GitHub. Go back to home. You're drunk. Oh, that is for the HTML stuff. Of course, now I can't see. We change. Yeah, gamma. That might be it. That's a power though. We could see if that looks right. This is getting complicated. I guess a function could be in order here as well. But math.pow. Now, the brighter may have actually been doing like a decorrection to adjust for the weird graphics card. Graphics adapter. Does seem a little bit darker. Oh no, maybe it's brighter. Maybe they're being lit. So now, since that may have been trying to like uncorrect it or something, that's just 2.0, but yeah, that is looking a lot more like the actual unit color. Those aren't big enough to get completely blocked out. Yeah, that actually yeah, that gets a little bit of the tan. It was just kind of white before. Oh, okay. So my deselect doesn't work in this. Or no, or maybe the problem is that we're just not registering the event somewhere to update something. Or I'm not aborting. There's no player control flags. You can't really paste anything with no player anyway. Cannot read property then of undefined. Well, yeah, I could maybe see that. None of undefined. Wish I knew where the heck you were going on. Well, this is the thing we changed. Okay. Oh, because this was a promise. Okay. Oh, cannot read property AI of undefined. Wish we knew where that was coming from. Maybe send chat invite? Oh, Puppet, that might be Puppet Master. Possibly trying to update people about things? I wonder if it's stopping... Well, the game isn't necessarily set up to handle that. Army index. That means we're still getting army index. Even though the UI kind of deselected. This is actually more of an improved player control thing. False, false. Oh. False, null, 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 true. Oh, so I basically selected nobody to do this, apparently. Uh... Which has most of the desired properties, but... Wait, and there's a player for that? Alright, get rid of the spam. Or do we not do something to clear the preview? That might be it. Well, it gets handled in Bootstrap here. Go preview. So arguably, you need to be watching the current player as well. Actually have that turn on. But I can turn that off by itself, so that's not a huge deal. Oh, no, that's formation. That's parade formation. Yours to be busted? Do I have to go ask a panel about that? Not sandbox control. Not sandbox control. Box units. No, that doesn't seem to have failed. We're like completely busted. Panels are you in? Settings? Looked at sandbox. The menu mess with it? That's kinda not good. Oh, I guess. Okay, so it doesn't like the. Doesn't like parade formation for some reason. Right. Oh, we got two of them apparently. I don't know, no, now it's completely busted. You're fine. Too many things. And the live games are kinda not helping to pick out, like, leading letters. Sandbox control, sandbox units. Yeah, no warnings here. Oh, okay. I guess some of the aquatic units are still having issues. But was clearly able to paste that. The preview itself is totally busted. Is that like a permanent engine thing now? No, it's not a permanent engine thing. It might be kind of a UI thing. I wonder, did something go wrong in Killer Ghost task? Let's slow this down a bit. Okay. I'm not getting... I've selected in the... Yeah, something exceptioned. But didn't bubble up to print out. Oh, I've got a bunch of... I've probably got some thens that don't have error handlers on them. That's probably something that changed. Probably something that changed in engine. But what do we change? We did this. That should pretty much return it to normal. Nope. Okay, so I don't think that's implicated. This might be just something that has to be a base game change. All right, that's not a particularly version dependent. This is a feature update, not a major update. All right, live game. Guess I took that out. But it changed my no bootstrap. Do I even have a? Yeah, almost did it. That's wrong. the strap. All right, back to dev. Bootstrap. How does the error handle? Is it then catch or is it secondary function? I don't know where this gets caught really. Not anywhere. Something never answers. Oh, wait. Okay, so that actually broke something. What did it identify? At this? Or did I miss something else? Uh-oh. Missed something else. Okay, well. Okay, so it was a recent change. So we have to go back and look at that diff. Okay, well, I mean, that explains something. I don't know why it's specific to formation. No, actually, expected identifier. I wish you could get bloody line numbers. So we basically have to track down every change and take it out. So there's you, and well, it would just be an extra argument if it wasn't that. So if it was preview, got you, we got all that. And it's just an extra argument. No, that's okay. Well, I can always reset hard after I find this. So you just go away. You just go away. You just go away. Live game. Da, 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 da. Okay, so it was that last bit. I have that. Not still have that. So we have to replay mod info yet again. So it seems to be this. Let's put a stray keystroke or edit stuff here. Okay, but that's still busted. All right, so mod info. Fix the typo. Mod info. Now I can actually edit. Bootstrap. Ghost. Ghost. Okay, so if there's a promise, it doesn't come back through there. So Bootstrap calls BCU preview units. First, what if there were no arguments? Would it print anything? Oh yeah, it's much slower now. No. Live game, preview units. Turn, resolve, 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 resolve. Def is deferred. Yeah, so it's information. It is. So there's the information chain. There's actually that's this thing. There's the raycast. I don't think ray. Because I'm also assuming that this is the right fail syntax. Not that one. All right, we need to do a test. You are creating a new deferred. Def dot. Are you doing to bootstrap that? Um, yeah, okay, that's not notifying us of squat. How about undefined is not a function? Well, oh, right, so deferred dot. How do we use this? We return that, and then something eventually resolves it one way or another. Maybe what we really care about is well, I care that somewhere in processing chain of something terribly wrong about it because promises. That means I have to actually get a. Well, first I have to figure out how to catch things. And is it? I don't know that the jQuery promises would have changed much. I'm gonna have to figure out which version of it. Undefined is not a function. I have zero information about this. Is it part of that? Okay, it's part of that. We define. Can we run that line? Run that line. Not run that line. Like, all right, fine. No, I need your properties. Bando. Widget. No version tag that I can see. Shared. That's not jQuery. How the heck are you a syntax? Because catch is a key reference. I need to file name. Okay, so it's not in that bit. So maybe it doesn't like catch. Undefined is not a function. Oh, maybe I locally loaded jQuery? It's an object. Oh, and here's its methods. Always done fail. jQuery UIPA theme CSS. Okay, catch reason. Now, I get you. But it has to process the result, so we might have to do def.resolve. Uncut. Okay. Wait. The promises don't catch. Well, it could still be a promise failure, I guess. So here's something else we need to know. You'd fail. What about then? Does that catch? No, if that does that catch this. Of course, I can't do both of these. Okay, that syntax works. All right. Well, this is probably some stupid little thing we'll find 5 minutes in, but I have to stop sometime. I need. I should do some exercise. I should eat lunch. And that was supposed to be a quick little thing that ran into another bug. We're still searching. We still haven't found a copy of jQuery. All right, I am going to do some Step Mania, but programming is done. If you were here for that, thanks for hanging out. I will be back in a few minutes. I'm going to have to drop stream to change some parameters. And I'll need a few minutes to set up the pad. This is about when I'm usually on, so a lot of that is actually normally the Step Mania, which will be starting shortly. See you in a bit.